Good evening. I'm starting a little early because I have another room at 7 o'clock. Um, how is everybody doing? So, today I'm going to talk about something very evident, which is synthetic transient outer pleasures that we get from the things and all that to the inner joy that is natural, that's within us. So, that's something I have been um, really getting into it all the time. Uh, it was not like something brought about, but just kind of uncovered inner joy. We all have that, right? We all feel it when we don't have any carefree attitude we don't have any care in the world, then we feel that inner joy. So the empty we are with the thoughts, the less we are with all our burden of our knowledge or past or anything, the more we are in touch with that, right? So that's what we're going to explore because I was really watching my um, younger friends, some of the colleagues, they were so glued to all this technology, all the things that they do. They don't have that break from that. You see, that's something that they have been living with, and if you snatch them away, they have this withdrawal syndrome, right? Whereas I don't have any problem getting away from them because I would rather welcome that. If I had to do what I have to do and use the technology, for example, like sit in front of the computer doing my patient's documentation, I'm using the technology, right? And then I use the Epic and I kind of actually I'm more adept at it because I spent time on that and then I started to learn from the beginning because I have this uh, inherent burden of I have to teach all those people. That was my role anyway. So each hospital I go to, if it happens to have a new EMR system, and I have to learn that, and I learned that. But then once I learn that, I go into the intricacies and details of it. So I end up learning a lot, right? But I kind of use like a first few months I spend a lot of time, and later years of time I will have very good time. That was my simple logic, right? So I used to spend a lot of time with that, and also I learned about don't go for the bells and whistles in the EMR system, but learn about what exactly you have to do, what is that you need. And I was focusing on that. So I was fine. But then after the EMR documentation all done, and I have my cycles, I have my circles where we use the phone and all that in a particular way. But they leave me alone if they don't need me really, right? So I don't clutch to the technology as much as I need them. I use them and leave them. Okay, but when I leave them, what it is, I am in this natural inner blissful joy. All of us can be, so that is the gift for me from the ancient wisdom and the sciences of healing that I learned, and then I learned to be in the present with touch the nature, with touch with the simple joys of natural beauty, natural things, animals, and all that. Right? That really helped me to go deeper and deeper into myself, thereby discovering this joy. Whereas modern technology can make you feel like that is the only thing that's available, but we forgot ourselves slowly. That's what I was talking about, right? So that is topic that is very relevant, I think, because with this artificial intelligence and we are enamored by the tools. Even I am. So many good tools are there to use and then increase our productivity, and that's all fine. But what I'm saying is, can you be without them? and be in touch with your enjoy. That's all. Okay, and there's nothing wrong using those technological tools, and probably they are going to overwhelm us the way they are going about it. I was very interested in the artificial intelligence technology. First of all, they are augmenting my actually cognitive capacity. See, that is the one I'm really looking at it. But beyond that, we are not just our cognitive mind. That's my contention right from the beginning. That's a wonderful tool we have. Use that. Do all the good things you want to do, or do them as little time possible, as little energy as possible. That's all fine. But then beyond that, are you addicted to the technology? Examine yourself. If you can be without phone, without all this thing for several hours together, then you are not, you know, anchored by them, right? So I'm only talking about people who are completely into that, and then they think mid-journey portrait or doing all sorts of photographs. That is the natural creativity. I think they're missing something. They can have a good time. Mid-journey produces very realistic photographs. I know about that too. I also do them, but I don't do them for any purpose, only for the article purpose sometimes. I have only a couple of pictures, but otherwise I don't have to use so many other things out there that will give you a video from the text, so we can use them. So what I'm saying is, examine yourself by leaving all these things and enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the inner tranquility, enjoying the peace that we have within, all of that. Those kind of things are really too much for people, maybe. But don't, it is a shame to lose that inner tranquility, harmony, peace, happiness, and all that, So I got a new slogan for my BA PAL company. So I say, if you come to us, we will let you have inner health, inner wealth, and inner happiness. So probably the people may ask me, what is this all about? Then I will tell them, yeah, they are real. They are there. They are cheap. They're you can immerse yourself into them and then enjoy the world, enjoy the things of the world. But if you get habituated to the external things at the cost of the inner, I think that's a shame. That's all I'm saying. Yoga gives you that inner awareness, and Advaita talks about that awareness all the time. So if you really follow the philosophy of yoga, not just the postures, philosophy of the yoga or philosophy of the Vedanta, they always talk about this meditative awareness, which is blissful awareness. Okay, so that is something to think about and something to really ponder on, so that you don't have to have any particular religious background or a lot of knowledge about the all the scriptures. You may have peace of mind, all that, but I'm talking about pure inner simple joy that we do get when we don't have any care in the world, or we have some things that come up, they are so overwhelmingly joyful for us, but mostly have a mind control or understand the mind and go beyond the mind, and then you will feel that. Okay, so this is all started way back when I was a teenager, actually. So we had this high school that they built brand new, and they were kind of gathering money and then building the building and all that. So it's not like they have grants, they have somebody giving them a lot of money. Maybe some donors have given them, but that was enough only to buy the land and then just dig up the foundation and then also put the walls on it. But and they also have the roof, which is like a sheets, right? But then there are big windows and then there are big doors. None of them have doors or windows. Okay, everything is open, and then you go and sit and learn and come out. That was the way the whole school was, right? But the thing was, it is a tropical country and it is sunny, and then it used to protect us. The shade is there, but we used to have beautiful breeze because it is in the middle of all the fields of with various kinds of plants, right? So we look out the window, you have greenery, and then you just feel the air. It's a very cold, cool breeze coming up, you know. So only thing was, when it really rained, we had to go to the center of the classroom so that we won't be wet, you know. And then if it is really rain, then they used to give us a holiday. Go home. Okay, we cannot stay here, you know. So we used to enjoy that. Oh, you can get home. We don't have to stay till the. That, I don't know why we were so happy, but we were happy that we were let go and go home. So that was the thing. But then that was a wonderful experience for me, closer to the nature. It's like you are in the lap of the nature. And we went in the lunch break. We did not go have a there's a dining hall, but that is small for maybe 500 children are there, and then that may take 30, 40, but the rest of them have to take the turns and all. So we used to walk to the gardens around, and there was a rose garden next to our building. So we used to go there and sit there and then enjoy like a picnic. We used to enjoy the food every day. So it was wonderful to grow up in that kind of atmosphere, you know. So that's the natural joy. And then we were so innocent. Our friends and all that mean a lot to us. They're like a family, and we always looked after each other, you know. So if we go to cafeteria to drink a cup of coffee, it was not like who has to pay and all that. Whoever has the money, we pay. That's it. So it is impolite if you go, everybody paying for themselves. There was nothing like that. All of us go there, only one guy pays for everybody, and the next time he may do it. But then it is done without any particular dialogue or anything like that. But that friendship was beautiful. The care was beautiful. The sharing was beautiful. That's what I'm saying. You know, nobody taught us anything. It's the culture. It was like that. You know, it is bad when if you think about only yourself. It is bad if you're counting beans, counting money. Okay, so it was like a very jovial camaraderie and friendship, and also this imperceptible love and affection among our friends. You know, we really felt bad if something tragedy happened in their household. For example, somebody passed away, or somebody lost jobs, or somebody had anything, right? Then we were really supported, he or she, and then we supported going there and staying with them, and doing the little things that we could do. We didn't know the money giving, we didn't know big words or anything, but then just be with my friend because he is in trouble. I remember one instance when I was very sick with high fever. I was not able to get out of the bed and walk, right? I don't know what happened. My mom and other people, they were not there. But my friend was there. And he was so careful about taking me to the hospital to do it, because it's not like a 911 there. It's not like a ambulance come to your house. You get to take it. And he has a bicycle, and then he put me on the front, and then he was actually carrying me on one arm because I was going down. And then he carried me to the hospital. We were teenagers at that time, but that friendship is still there with him. You know, even now I call him in India, we chat, and then when I go to India, I will definitely visit him all the time. So that kind of bond, that kind of friendship, I'm sure a lot of people have that in this country also, with the high school friendships, high school loves. You know, they last long, they last a lifetime, right? So all that is all inner happiness, inner joy. This is all natural, right? So only if you embed with the kids separativeness, selfishness, and covetousness, all these things that we teach the kids, you know, then they will be away from that joy. And then on top of it, unless you have this thing or these many things, this kind of car, this kind of conveniences, you are not going to have any good time. That is a bad thing to feed people. Let them be natural, let them explore the life, and let them be real human beings, not the tech oriented, tech kind of obsessed. There are other problems too. See, I was quoting a study that was reported among the teenage girls from 2014, I think, onward. That's when the smartphone came, right? 14 to 18, I think, or 16, something like that. They took a number of young women who were really with Instagram. They were depressed, and their depression got worse to the point the suicide rate in that particular group rose from the 2014 to 2018 or so to 188%. That is really catching the eye for us. So we knew that suicide is going up, you know, attention deficit is going up, information overload is going up. And so I don't want to put them under the rug in the garb of this AI is so fantastically doing things. It does do, it is doing a lot of things very fast, very accurately for me too. So I'm very impressed with the capacity of it, but I'm kind of apprehensive about what the effect going to be down the line, how this tremendous power is going to undermine our creativity, our inner capacities, and also um, in the hands of people who are not really uh, conscientious, or they want to exploit, or they want to, you see, Russian elections, and so much of cyber crime is going on, and all that is there. And this is a real worry, because this technology that is unfolding now, nobody really are really identifying the enormous capacity it will have, and then what is going to happen if the bad guys take hold of it, or kind of use it for the bad purposes. That is there. The concern is that European Union, for example, they are very soon they are passing that Bill of Rights for the high technology or something. They were doing a law where they want to have some written structure about protecting everybody, right? That is there too. So I'm, in as much I'm using the artificial intelligence forms, and I'm getting the benefit for my work and all that. I'm also aware of the possible side effects or possible things, so we are not even thinking about them. One of the persons who left Google, I think he was one of the architects of the chat GPT or something. He was talking about it, why he left Google, because he was talking about, um, suppose we think maybe 5 to 100 thoughts a day, and the chat GPT thinks like 100 trillion a day. So that way it can go through the material very fast, and then deliver all the data in there. But still it is data, still it is external thing, still it is a tool, right? But if you forget about that, and you put all your life around that so much that you cease to be a natural human being, that's my concern. you know and what about the inequality that's going to go with digital people and digitally illiterate people? What about the tech people who is using so much? Now they have the information overload, they have the brain fog, they have all the overwhelm, or all these things. We see them, right? They can't sleep, their relationships are getting affected, and most of the kids don't have conversation skills because they're always texting. There's so many problems brooding, not even now, even before, but this will be multiple fold after the real, you know, real manifestation of this artificial intelligence boom, right? I think Bird, Google just come with Bird, right? And then, so they are also doing a lot of things to make it safe, I believe, initially. But then, once the Microsoft bought the OpenAI and then opened the artificial intelligence, now Google is very worried about the market share, so left the cautions to the wind, and then they are also going on proliferating the technology at the advice of the people who invented this technology. That's why one of those guys, he's some man. I think he kind of wanted to leave Google because of this reason, and he was coming on TV and telling. I saw his interview. That's why I know. So is that all lost, or is there something that is there and we need to be kind of be aware, be awake about this? That's why I thought I will come and talk to you guys about this. It's not like a scary or anything like that, but it's something that is here. People have to understand that, and then really be able to. I think Sonia is here. Let's see, she wants to come up. So that is what I was talking about today. I think hi Sanya,
Hi, Dr. Ram.
how are you?
Great.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
early.
Yeah, I kind of brought in this topic today because it is very relevant to all of us. Uh, how come people are not immersed in their inner joy all the time, but they're having all these tools, the phone, the computer, the devices, they become so much, and then what are the inherent dangers? As it is, people are not touching with, when I say inner joy, bliss, and all that, they say, "What is this?" We don't know what it is. We don't see it. But it is there. You just have to get in touch with that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm kind of guilty of that myself.
Mm.
So of course, once you become aware of it, then you're like, okay, let's go outside,
Yeah,
and do something,
yeah,
a walk on nature or anything like that, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I mean, like,
yeah. I think this is a real concern because, on one hand, we are losing something very, very um, important. On the other hand, kind of threatened by it. That's why, especially when I look at the mental health angle, when I look at the relationships and all the disease that's going on, the stress and burnout, the morbidity associated with it, because they are not functioning properly, because of that. So that's why I said we should really uh, understand. That's why I brought this topic up. Hi, Girish. How are you?
Sir, Bhavna, sir. How
Yeah.
are you, sir?
I am great. I am blissful. This is what I always say. So
అదే సార్ ఈరోజు మీరు చెప్పినట్టు ఒక టాపిక్ ఇన్నర్ పీస్ గురించి
yeah,
నేను ఒకటి షేర్ చేసుకోవాలి సార్.
yeah, sure. Talk in English. Sanya doesn't know
సార్
Telugu. Yeah.
ఓకే సార్. సో I went to Araku Valley in Vizag, sir.
Yeah, beautiful place. I was there. Yeah.
So people in Tandas,
Hmm.
even then, they doesn't know what is going in around their total world.
Yeah.
There will be a bunch of small houses. They are living very peaceful.
Hmm.
They are living with very minimum commodities.
Yeah.
I thought like how beautiful their lives are,
Yeah.
and very near to nature.
Yeah.
And even we can't understand that language where what their dialect they are talking with.
Yeah.
But they are the most happiest people in our.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also, while coming from train, I realized that cities may be advanced in their urbanization, but I've seen the same number of medical stores,
Yeah.
even in cities.
Yeah.
I have not seen a single store of medicines and available in Tandas.
Yeah.
I came to realize that everything is on our inner peace, and the nature has more effect on us
Yeah.
more than the technology, it seems.
Yeah.
Today you have brought up that inner peace.
Yeah.
So the feeling which emotionally I have connected while I went to the Arak Valley,
Yes.
I realized that a small time of small time which I have spent after so many years, I thought of whatever I have done is that much not on par with what I have spent in a small time in Arak Valley.
Absolutely.
So the feelings which I have,
Absolutely. I totally see that, Girish. Actually, if you look at me, what I'm talking about, I'm not at all for this so-called American lifestyle. You know, one part of it is okay, but majority is like a, see, if you take a panoramic view of ancients to moderns, where the moderns really got into trouble was they were separated from the nature. Nature was there to for them to be using, rather than nature is part of them and they are part of it too. And the other thing that happened was this possessions, accumulation of things, and with that accumulation of egos and profits. Those two things are become so you're always going out for the egocentric behavior, or you're always going out for the profits. So you feel incomplete without the profits. So that's why you have to have the profit. That's a general thing. But then they viewed into a lifestyle where you got to make a living, you got to do all that. But if you really look at it, you don't need that much. When you have what you have, like the tribals, they have it for the day, and then they don't think of tomorrow. They will settle again in the morning and go. So this kind of thinking and all that are not there. And also they are very touch with the seasons of this nature, or the animals are very friendly with them because they don't have this fear and killing spirit and all that, right? So most of the animals they get along with the most people because they are living with them. But there are occasions where there will be people will be attacking them and then trying to kill them and all that, right? That is there. Then the animals also attack. But the basic thing is to be in your inner peaceful self. You don't need anything. That is why the yogis, for example, they said you got to have this passion about these things, and then you can really close your eyes and go inward peacefully because your temptation is not bringing you out. You kind of withdraw your senses and all that. So the lifestyle that has evolved over centuries, which was really inner exploration and flowering inwardly as a human being, they are much more evolved than the modern man is. On the other hand, modern man invents tools and becomes a slave to the tool, and then loses his natural strength and also beauty and also this inner feeling of happiness. My blessing is that was given to me was really getting in touch with that and staying there. So I don't need anything lots of times. I'm just by that you are revering in that inner peace and God. Not that you have evolved a big person. No, no. You have evolved to be a human being, humane, more humaneness. So you become less of other things. For example, you identify yourself being a doctor, for example, and then you develop a sense of I am very important. I studied this. I'm good to go to the hospital. Everybody will look for me, and all that sense of is all nothing but ego. But if I go there and I'm kind of friendly with the persons, irrespective of their care. In India, there used to be like you respect the highest person, but then you kind of treat the other people very badly. That was not there. Everybody is a human being. Everybody you are friendly. See, in Patanjali Yoga, there is one poem where they say, Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha. These four qualities everybody should have. One is Maitri, friendliness towards everybody, animals, plants, and human beings. Karuna, kindness to everybody. Have the feeling of kindness, not deliberately getting it, but just feel that kind of kindness. Then mudita is you rejoice at somebody else's success. There is no competition, there is no separation. The other guy gets something and then he is very successful in that skill or anything like that. You are enjoying for his sake. And the fourth one is upeksha. For example, somebody Sanya, for example, I'm just pulling your leg, Sanya. She irritates me all the time, for example, and then kind of ignore that kind of nature. Sanya, I'm just kidding with you. She's not like that. She's a sweet lady. But what I'm saying is, some people can be like that, right? Annoying people, and you kind of ignore them. Upeksha means you gotta let it go. You won't let it seep it in. So that is very important, to have this. And they all have that humanness, that kind of friendly, kind, enjoying other people, and also really not really paying attention to the negativity of the people throw around. So that kind of thing is there within all of us. How do you come to it? Not by accumulating things, but just being you who are before all these degrees, before all these achievements, before all these monies and everything. If you can go to that state, then you will be always blissful, always enjoy. See? Make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
I totally accepted that.
Yeah. You saw that result in the
Yes,
target.
sir.
Yeah. That's what you are talking about.
Okay, I'm just a fraction of second which have eroded all my previous memories and everything. I was lonely. I was enjoying the beauty of the moonlight. I was
Yeah.
even the temperatures which we artificially generate in our room temperatures. That
Yeah.
is very
I know. So
very much opposite to the nature which
yeah, let me tell Sanya about that place, Girish. Sanya, this place is in Andhra Pradesh, the state I come from in India, and this is a big town called Vishakhapatnam. Near that, there is this beautiful series of hills, and then the valley is beautiful. As you go up the hill, you can see the clouds going underneath you. It's a wonderful place. It's very famous at the time. And he was talking about tribal people that were living in that. And there are still so many tribal people live in different parts of the jungle. You know, um, did you get it? What I said, Sanya?
I think so. It sounds nice. I like to see it.
Yeah. No, that is the actual fact. The civilization eroded humaneness. So even the creature comforts, they're actually acting against us because they increase the chronic disease. I talked about this, how the tamas increases, rajas increases, and that's why people pay price with diseases later on. Even the people who are running all the time now, they pay for it because they are with bad energies all the time. So anyway, what do you think about this? What I said, synthetic joys versus natural inner joy.
Are you asking me or?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Yeah, synthetic is, yeah, I understand, like, people use different techniques or tools and stuff like that to
Yeah.
help them be
I
happy,
was
and that includes all the stuff that's outside us, right?
Yeah,
And
before
joy
it,
is something that we've been I've been
yeah,
working on with you, right? So
yeah,
it's been really awesome to see that um, like in terms of what is happening to me, like I mentioned to you, like every day something
yeah,
opens up for me,
yeah,
and I'm really you
yeah.
know
You see
I
that,
feel really blessed in many ways, like
yeah.
so I'm just grateful for that part, and
You see,
that
Girish,
also keep accumulating, which is like nice because
yeah,
like as that happens, then my emotions are not as in terms of fluctuations as much.
yeah,
It stay that constant. But at the same time, when you get triggered, we ask the question why, and it then points me to the source, right,
yeah,
of where this is coming from.
yeah.
And I'm not like rejecting all of that, but I'm acknowledging it, you know,
Yeah.
and
Girish
that's
brought a very nice example, Sanya. It's a beautiful example of what I'm talking about. Um, you think these tribal people don't have anything because according to your own perception, your own judgment, and that is the arrogance of the modern people. Okay, that they know. But then, if you really look at it, they are full of anxiety, full of sadness, full of mental health problems. So many things. If you look at them inwardly, they need to have a drink or a smoke or something to keep them quiet, or they need to have so much money, so much degrees, so much of achievement, and all that. So they can never be without all the synthetic things. But if you are can grow to not to be addicted to the synthetic joys. Before you came, when I started the topic, I think 20 minutes I talked about it. I talked about some of these children are not able to get off the phone, and some of these phones are causing more attention deficit, and some are driving to suicidal. And I talked about a report where teenage girls from Instagram, they were hooked onto it and they were led to be suicidal, and all the time hooked onto it, and they cannot get away from the negative sources of information. And the number went up to 188% in teenage young girls. How tragic it is, so much of human beings are getting sacrificed. And then they are young kids, they didn't even see the life. And then they are kind of finishing it off. That is still going on. The suicide rate has gone up, and a lot of people are committing suicide around the world. So this is not like a simple thing I'm talking about, a very serious thing. But everybody is so enamored about accumulations for themselves or getting things for their ego. They are really not feeling it unless it happens in their family. So this is very serious thing in a way, but very simple thing in a way. you know that the simplicity we lost, we kind of very complicated inside. See, the the ancient people, simple outward life, okay, and very rich inner life. But now it's a very simple inward life and very rich outward life. That's why these people, AA people, this morning was talking about it. I didn't want to get into the arguments and everything in that because they don't have any perceptive mind to understand what I'm talking about. There's no point of wasting my time. But the thing is, they were talking about ethics and AI and all of that, right? They conveniently neglect human being is not just a human being. Human being is emotional human being, conscious being. He is also happy, sad, and all those things. And inwardness is very, very important for them. And we have an intelligence that uses our mind to go remember past and also to project and plan for the future. And that's a wonderful capacity. But then we made that mind hell rather than heaven. So what I'm saying is, when you turn inward and look at the outward things as nothing and really grasp these treasures you have inside, you are better off. So I cannot tell them I don't go to any alcohol, smoking, or any of those things for my inner joy. It is already there. I kind of amplify that already. You just wake up with that every day, and you spend the day like that. No, it doesn't give me ego or anything. It just gives me pure joy. That's all. There's nothing to rave about it. But the only thing is, other things we complicate ourselves, and then later on, we want to weep or be sad or take medications or all those things. So the mental health is getting so worse. Somebody like physician like me, I'm aware of it. So I kind of talk about this, how the numbers are going up. But then they don't want to talk about it. Oh, this tool is very good. I can sell this tool to these people and I can make a lot of whatever they want. It can be a livelihood, no problem. But why do I have to neglect the side effects that are happening? You know, so that's what I was trying to. But then I'm going to use the same technology to spread what I want to say. So that's why feverishly writing books and articles, and I made 20 videos in the last few days, Sonia, complete with music, voiceover, and everything. Can you believe that? I made those videos. I never made any videos really, and I come and talk on the video, but these are very well made. You don't see me except my photograph. Everything is really made of beautiful slides. See, Girish, I'm also getting into those things, but then they're all for a purpose because I want to more people know about this. First of all, I'm giving coaching for the burnout and stress. Burnout course is called Comprehensive Self Care, and the IT people getting the stress course is called Stress Management for Executive Tension (SMET). And then I have a servant leadership training program for leaders in the companies so that they can really run the factories and all the people with compassion and with respect and also equanimity and all that. Those, most of the CEOs are really ego driven. They are raised in a culture where they think that's the best thing. But then they build so much resistance around them at a certain age, certain time, certain success, they are really lost. They're really empty inside. And then when they expose all these things, they'll say, "Whoa, what a mistake we made in our education." You see, that's kind of thing I wanted to go around. And also, I'm trying to be a chief wellness officer in one of the health systems where we can try the health wellness oriented health system. That is the biggest thing we're going to do. Then I'm going to do some studies and generate some data and then present it to the other universities so that they will understand just the preventive wellness maintaining things are very good. I'm working with individuals too, like Sanya, and also that is fine because that's also a kind of a friendship where I can share these things and then they can improve their wellness and all. That's fine too. But then at the systemic level, that has to happen. Meanwhile, I just come and talk to you guys so that you know what I'm thinking, what I'm seeing. There's nothing here except just sharing. You know. Did I make myself clear? Is it? You know.
Yep.
Yeah. So around these things, you a human being can be very balanced, equal, harmonious, and peaceful without any external help. That is the thing people have to tap into and investigate for themselves. But usually everybody's left by all the conventions of the society and thinking that this is all good. See, like Girish, you went to those people who were there and you came in with a fantastic impression. That is what it is natural. We can be. They have no monies, no properties, and all that. But then they were able to display that joy, right, in life.
They are also very caring, sir.
Yeah.
When we approach them, they are also very much friendly and they will show that brotherhood and everything.
Yeah, yeah,
And very much, and even I have seen so many people sitting around 5 o'clock and 6:30 in the evening
mm,
while on, and they do discuss about all this.
yeah,
How people and very much they are like very much having fun.
yeah,
And even I've seen people running the televisions with serials and everything. The remote area is accessible,
mm,
but they are avoiding that thing, and
yeah.
they are having satsang in the
That's it.
evening sections, and they are much very happy.
Mm,
I've seen people playing in around small children, and they are sitting and relaxing for a while, and
yeah.
very much.
There was a report by many foreigners visiting India into the villages and all that. They actually recorded in the camera and also photography and all that. They recorded this booming smiles on these kids who are really malnourished and all of that. Where does that come from? They were asking, and so elderly people also are so easily hospitable to people, kind and not this city, but they are equally bad like here. But then if you go to the interior villages, that's where you see, that kind of thing. But in the if you go to regular cities, same desert of civilization penetrated so much into that, so they are kind of away from that. But what I'm talking about is if you go to the interior and you find these kids and everybody smiling at you, beaming smile, that itself, they may not have one meal a day, but they have that. So they are not having thought about I don't have this, that's why I'm poor, that's why I should be miserable. None of that. They don't have that in them. That is something, Sanya, you should experience yourself when you go to India. You know, you can go to the remote villages a little bit and go and visit them. See how hospital in any village, you can stop in front of any house and they will bring you food. That is the hospitality of that. They will give you water and everything too, and
Yeah.
yeah, you feel like yeah. Go ahead. You are saying something, Sani?
Yeah, of course I grew up in well until I was like 7 or 8 before I went to
Yeah, yeah. You are.
so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
experienced that, and that's kind of like a custom and culture, right?
yeah.
And so I mean I grew up in a village, and
Mm,
a happy childhood, right,
yeah,
Dr. Rao?
yeah,
Because I was like I pretty much left alone because
yeah, yeah. You are in touch with it now. I forgot about it. You were brought up like that, so you have experienced that. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and I really like I always reflect back now when I'm in in a stressful environment to go back into that memories, right?
Mm,
Because there I really enjoy my childhood. Like I'm left to experience and explore it myself, right? Because of course I have two older and two younger sisters, right? Five of us,
mm.
and so of course the older ones take care of the younger, right? And of course I'm in the middle, so I'm like okay, left to my own device. So I wander around a lot, and a lot of things people fear here in Canada or US, even right? Snakes, bugs, all of these things. We really dive into that, right? We're not afraid of anything. We experiment with everything, and of course, the villagers there, they like in terms of cuisine, it's like it's not your typical one here. So I get to explore all of those ones, and and you're right in terms of like everybody. It's like you bring water or whatever you have to share, right? When people come to visit you, right? And that's like everybody does that, and so it becomes normal, right? uh,
Now,
and so I really love I hope I get the chance to go to India, and I think I will in the next couple of
I
months or
will
so.
take you, Sanya. No problem. Don't worry.
Yeah. That's good. That means I have a tour guide.
Actually, there is a. I think Girish would like this. Girish, I'm planning a spiritual heritage route. You know, starting with Kerala, that Kanyakumari, and then Shankaracharya's birthplace, then coming to Tamil Nadu, Ramana Maharshi's ashram, like that. You know, I have several important, uh, places in terms of the Indian philosophy. So what are those? And I'm going to already wrote some chapters on these things, why they are significant, what it is. For example, Shankaracharya's, that Nirvana Shatakam. Okay, that is Manobuddhi Ahankara Chittani Naham. That's how it starts. Sanya, this is a fantastic genius. He was he well versed with Vedas by the time he was 8 years, right? And then he knew a lot of Upanishads and everything by 10 or so. And then he leaves home and then goes off taking complete sannyasa, that is giving up everything, right? And he goes to Himalayas. He was walking there. He was a kid, right? And this elderly gentleman sees him and asks him, who are you? Then he says, I'm not this body. I'm not this mind. I'm not this whatever you think it is, but I am this reflection of consciousness that is everywhere. So he says there's no guru, there's no teacher, there's no student, there's no father, there's no mother and all that, but I'm this spark of light that comes into this body and animates the body. And so it's a very important Nirvana Shatakam or Atma Shatakam, they call it, So his work is so elaborate, so profound. You think he must have lived hundreds. He lived only 32 years and he died then, So he's a really fantastic figure. And the other figure is Vivekananda. He also died at 39 years. But the volume of work they did was really unbelievable. He walked entire India from that place to this side several times by foot. You can imagine. So anyway, I don't want to go into superlatives, but the thing is, there are so many ancient, important figures, and the knowledge and all of that. It can be concluded into small things, but then I wanted to present from my own viewpoint of what I understood, different ways of that and what it is significant, and I want to bring it to like a pictorial video, like to my family, to my friends and kids. They'll understand what is it that I'm always talking about, what is that ancient wisdom, why India is also not able to do that, why West plays a role, why West needs it also, so it's a kind of, I don't say West or East separate, we're all one, but these are, we have, see, when they evolved and found out all these truths, it was very, very good for the life, right? But later on, all that has gone down, and then people have adopted these modern weaknesses, and now we are paying for it because we are really harming the planet, and we are fighting with each other, and we are also miserable and mentally very unhealthy, right? So all these things are there, but then my own life, right? I'm this age advanced, but I'm still going pretty good, I think. Not having any major problems or anything like that. But at the same time, discovered this inner diamond, inner joy and peacefulness and all that. And that is done not by just being dogmatic about anything, but then understanding that and living that. And that can be done. So, for example, I say, tell me 5 things that are not modern, that are ancient, that you guys are applying in life. Just to play with me. I will tell you, but you will tell me, Sanya, 5 things in your daily life on the spot. Just try. Okay, play with me.
Yeah. Sorry, what? My daily life?
In your daily life, tell me some 5 things that are not modern but are kind of natural.
Nature. Um, Interesting. Yeah. Um, I love, like, when you had, like, when we started all of this, you tell me to go outside
Yeah,
and take breath before, like, setting my intentions for the day.
yeah,
And I still love doing that because because now the sunrise is around 5:30.
yeah.
So I of course wake up before that because I
Wonderful.
wanted to.
Wonderful, Sanya. That's good. One is nature. You are in touch with nature now. Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the gardening now
Hmm.
because I'm planting herbs and mints and maybe some cucumber and
Yeah.
carrots and
But that's all nature. Okay, that's one. Next, what is next?
natural in my life, like
None.
the food,
Yeah.
food maybe some.
No, that's all. That's all becomes the same thing.
Okay, so nature. Sorry, what was the question? Natural to me.
What are the 5 natural things that you do on a daily basis? This is wonderful.
Oh,
This
I get up, brush my teeth.
no, no, those are all you're maintaining it. No, it's not in your life. What is the nature? You use a toothbrush and a toothpaste. That's not natural either. So let's leave those personal things alone. But I'm saying an attitude in life, just to play along. There's nothing test or anything like that.
Yeah. I think work, play, all of those natural. Yeah? Is that what you go along the lines?
Play. You're playing. That means you don't have any competitors, but you are collaborating. You're cooperating people. That is natural because we are social people, right? So not having anything in return, like somebody has to give us these transactional things versus just being with people. Like I'm coming here, I just want to be with people, right? I don't need anything from you. But what it is just to share and enjoy, and then some people uh, get it what I'm talking about. That's good enough. Okay, that's the second thing. I think, Sanya, you do that. You are kind of she is very friendly, and she is not threatening to anybody. She's kind of that way. That's good. Okay. I think the Buddhist background and all that comes through.
Most of the time I'm friendly, Doctor.
No, no, kind of being friendly with everybody. That's what I'm saying. So that is that second thing that you do. Okay. What is the third thing you do?
What else?
I will ask you the question. Maybe you answer it. Can you be yourself without any thoughts going on in your mind?
I most of the time now I am because unless I'm trying to
Yeah.
focus on the.
No, even if you are 1 minute, Sanya, that's good enough. So you are doing something completely natural without bringing this element of external thought. Okay, that is the third one you could do. How do you sleep? Do you sleep with the medications and all that?
I have no problem sleeping.
Yeah. So that is also natural you are doing. See, these four things we got it already. Tell me one more thing.
What else? One more. What else is there?
What is your natural instincts to the world, to all the humanity, animals, and all that?
Oh, yeah, of course you love the world. It's
Yeah.
part of you, right? So.
Yeah. See, you got 5.
Awesome.
Very good job.
I don't remember all.
Go and listen the recording. Okay, let's see Girish. Let's play with him. Girish, play with us. Tell us 5 natural things you do.
Sir, first one is body consciousness. I go for swimming, sir, daily.
Swimming. Okay.
I made a habit of going for swimming.
So make a body as your temple for your soul. So that way you are keeping up like that, right?
Yes, sir.
That's one,
And
definitely. Yeah.
next, listening to the good words, Acharya system, like
Yeah.
listening to only spiritual things,
Yeah.
like that.
Let's put it, you want to be giving a ear to the wisdom.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's second one. Yeah. What else?
And third one would be like not into this alcoholism, drugs, and everything.
Yeah.
I'm well off of having good sleep.
Yeah, that third one.
I do exercise and everything.
That
So
third one. Yeah. We got 3. Now 2 more. You're doing very good.
2 more, and I go for acquiring knowledge through books.
That's
reading
not
some
natural.
books.
That's not natural because bookish knowledge is somebody else's truth you're trying to absorb, you know. So that is really synthetic. If you think about yourself and investigate and find it, that is natural. We are being very technical here. You know?
No, sir. I mean to learn through like eminent people like Abdul Kalam's books and
Yeah.
those books are not into like how they have changed the out of context.
Again, that comes under the wisdom.
That's what I'm researching.
No, definitely. You already said wisdom. You're listening to that. Either there's books or there's words or their lives. But the better thing is always observe it and then you know incorporate that into your life. Then it becomes the natural thing. But either way, you are is the wisdom. That's the first one. 2 more. Right? We have the 2 more. I think you're doing a lot of things natural.
And I do talk to the people of friends, sir.
Hmm.
When I came home like that, I do talk to them.
Yeah.
I have 2 or 3 very close friends.
Yeah, you have friendliness, your natural friendliness to people. That's the 4th one. Yeah, definitely.
Last one would be like I am much
kinder, maybe.
doing
You are kinder, maybe. You have the kindness, I think, Girish, right?
yes, sir.
Yeah. So you see, if you look for it, we are already doing so many things, you know. So for me, for example, I live outside the thought world. That is very here and now with whatever it is. I may use thought to communicate, to convey some things and all that. But when I'm living, I'm really living in the present here and now. What do I say in the beginning of the practice, Anya? Be here and now. Right? We don't have any conversation also. Just go on doing it, being here and now, feeling the presence and all that, and establishing ourselves in the present, not allowing the thought to go back or forth. Right?
Yeah, and I look forward to that, right?
Yeah.
Because it's one of those times
Yeah.
where you kind of set aside and
Yeah.
just feel the joy of not only. Yeah, I'm enjoying yoga more now too.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah. See, the more you are in the present, doing anything becomes a real pleasing thing, real pleasure also. You know, that is one thing. The other thing is really finding who we are and staying in that. That is not subject to the movement of thought. Actually, the more you stall the thoughts, the more you will be in your real self. Okay? And something natural I do is all the time, I deep breathe. Normally, people will be breathing unconsciously, right? But I made breathing a conscious thing for me most of the time. Even in this talk, as we are talking, when I was not talking, you guys are talking, I kind of took deep breaths and then let it go. That becomes very imperceptible for anybody to even look at it. But I am aware of it. It means my mind is anchored to the breath. That is actually very natural. And final thing I will tell you, and I'm not talking when I'm not working and all that, I go and relish this silence. That's natural, right? Nobody needs to give it to me. They want to beat me out, but I just be myself by natural, silent. See how many things are natural to us that we don't really take it up and then do them consciously. See, I had a talk with my family a couple of days ago about essentials of mind management. You know, probably I will do that tomorrow, Sanya. That will be good. Essentials of mind management. As you know, the mind is kind of restless, right? Going all over, and also don't know when to work with a thought and when to work thought, and when you go and work, what do you do when you come out? All those things are confusions, right? So I have a 6 point principles formula that you guys can do them very, very easily. Okay. So I think you want me to do that?
Sounds great, Dr. Ralph.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I will do that because there is a bigger talk on mind management, because mind management is preliminary to what I really talk about real self, you know. But then all you know is only mind, and it has to be understood and managed properly. Then mind is your problem. Once you go beyond it, there's no problem, you know. By the way, Girish, that is what the ancients explored because they didn't have to do all this external life so complicated, right? So complex. So the life was very simple for them in that way. But then once they found out inner riches, they went deeper and deeper into that. And that is what I'm bringing notice to everybody. You don't have to go into any particular religion or anything, but this human wisdom, human experience of wisdom, get in touch with that and you won't regret it. At least for me, that is the reality. That's why I was trying to tell people. And but then you cannot grasp this if you have a continuously running mind. That has to be understood. It has to be calmed down by itself. So we'll talk about it a little bit, and I don't want to go too deep into that because that will be probably much for people. But then I will put simply 6 principles that you can do, and we'll do that tomorrow.
I think I remember that principle, Dr. Ralph.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to also use stress on the flight and fight response.
Yeah. Yeah. That is like your tribals, you said, the tribals. For example, they were living with, Sanya said that too, that as they were sitting with so many animals, she has no fear of them because she was living with them, right? So, looking at a snake by me or you, will have to fight or flight syndrome because we are not conditioned that is really don't harm you unless you harm it. But then the very thought, the very sight of it invokes this fear within us, is danger. That's why that fight or flight is there. When you sense a danger, you are supposed to take off, run, and either you stand still or go. So that's why the blood supply goes to the legs, and then you don't think much, you just get off and go away. That is the sympathetic nervous system response that was built in by the nature so that you can protect yourself from the danger, right? But then our thinking has become so much, we imagine or we kind of think there's a lot of danger in everyday life. For example, you have a boss, and then you are so scared that he's going to take you off the job, and all that. If you go 5 minutes late, then you tremble because you think that's a danger, you know. But then if you are going habitually like that, that's different. But if you are going once in a while, there can be some excuse. But on the other hand, if you're working very well, that's okay. And also, why do you have to be unpunctual to begin with? But then, if you imagine dangers where they are not there, but they're conditioned dangers that you are allowed to think and all that, then this sympathetic overload is responding inappropriately, because all those small dangers become stressful to you, and you accumulate all the stress. Like in the honey is put into the honey, honeybees bring honey, right? Eventually, and becomes really so much honey, the honeycomb, all the honey goes down. That's what is happening with a lot of burnout, stressed out people, because they do not understand how to really develop a system within themselves so that they can deal with these stresses very easily. Not to react to everything, but react only what is important. So I do teach what is called resilience, inner resilience, where your sympathetic overload is going down, passed by the understanding and all that. And then parasympathetic nervous system, which is opposite to the sympathetic nervous system, that is the vagus nervous system, that rests and digest system, that is more activated, so that you won't be reactive that easily for all small things when you go to work. That way you can understand and develop resources within you, and then develop this inner resilience system that you can face any problems that come in the world. Well, for example, I always talk about Buddha's two arrow theory, where the first arrow is outward thing coming to you, but the second arrow is something that you can do yourself. You can control those reactions. The training of being really understanding and not really responding is very important. But then people are so activated in the mind, even before they realize it, they react, and they will be really doing a lot of stuff with that unnecessarily, and damage the blood pressure, adrenaline response, so many things are there, and then people really uh, pay for that. Whereas easygoing, happy-go-lucky people taking life easily going there in Japan, several of the centurions are like that. They took it easy. They didn't take it to the heart. They didn't have this activity like here. People go into rage reactions. People go into real unnecessary argument, shouting at each other and all of that, right? That's not good for your health this way. Whereas somebody who is self-realized, he will not have a mind reacting like that. Maybe occasionally, but not all the time. So the higher they go into that plane of self-realization, the calmer they are, and then even in the extreme circumstances, they will be like, these are called stabilized in their wisdom. Sthita pragnata. That is a Sanskrit word. There was a story about a son and father. The father was a big ship merchant. He was actually running a lot of oil and everything through the ship to other countries. So he becomes old. Then the son takes the responsibility and goes in the ship. That's the business, right? And then a few days later, somebody comes and tells him, "Oh, something bad happened. Your son's ship got on fire, and then he drowned." You know, and then he says, very calmly, "I thank God. That's it." Then a few days later, somebody else comes and says, "It's a mistake. It was not your son's ship. He's now alive. He's coming home." He says, "Thank God." That's it. But he doesn't have the remorse or overjoy. I mean, that fluctuation is not there. And that kind of equanimity you will achieve once you understand who you are. Otherwise, all these intellectual discussions, all these activated minds go on continuously. They never know peace and harmony because they want to win their argument. They want to be understood. They want to be expressed. All these things go on. But they are having no peace inward. You remember sattva quality, Girish?
No, sir, no.
Okay, this sattva quality is something where your thoughts are completely stalled and you are scintillating with awareness. And that's in that state, you are very tranquil and harmonious inside. And that is one of the things that you develop after really understanding these ancient sciences on consciousness, yoga especially, and then you will have that steady wisdom. Very important. Anyway, this may be so much esoteric, probably. you know. Ivy is here. Ivy, you want to come up? Nazli is here. And oh, Jama is here too. I like the picture of Jama, but she put it there, right? We'll invite her.
Hey everyone.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Ivy. How are you?
I'm alright.
Okay.
Thank you. How are you?
I am as usual. No problem. So, I was talking about inner joy today. So, I think part there somebody wants to come up this way.
Yeah. Dr. Rao,
Yeah.
when you say consciousness, what did you mean when you say that?
Conscious is that subjective thing which is aware of everything else. It's not thought, it's not emotion. It is something that is animating our body and mind, the spark of light that animates us.
We should call it an energy.
Well, you cannot define it. It is something subjectively you feel it.
I don't think I can define it.
See, what you are not, if you can say this is not, then it will remain with what you are.
Because this is not,
Yeah.
anything objective is not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's a no thing, no thing.
Sachit Ananda, right?
Yeah.
So this is not anything objective, including thoughts.
Do you know the three words meaning, Ivy? Sat, Chit, Anand.
Yeah, I know what's it mean.
Tell me.
Sat mean physical reality, the body and mind.
No, not at all. Not
Chit
at
mean the consciousness, conscious side of us.
That's exactly.
The blissful.
Yeah.
Beside the blissful, it comes with knowledge.
The only thing is, Sat is what is really existing. Physical transits. Body takes birth and then dies too. Mind also takes birth and dies.
Reality.
So they are not physical. The Sat is, they mean Satchit Anand there. It is not the physical body and mind, but it is that conscious being existing all the time that is never going away. That is the meaning of that. And that itself is the consciousness. And that itself is bliss. So all three together are one, which is that existing conscious being. That has the physical reality, not reality, physical manifestation. The reality is only one existing consciousness, but that is tranquil. But manifestation of body and mind out of that, the reality is that conscious being.
Yeah, that's what I say. That's right.
Yeah, but you said body and mind, physical reality. Physical reality is not consciousness. Physical reality is always comes and goes, manifests and then goes. I think Parth is here. He wanted to ask some question. Hi Parth, how are you?
Yeah. So what I wanted to ask that how can one say that it is only the pure consciousness existing?
Mhm.
How can one come to that conclusion?
You look at
That is
yourself.
only my question.
Yeah, you look at yourself, and there is what called Drik Drishta Viveka. You know what is
Yes,
it?
yes, I know. The observer, the viveka is the will.
Yeah,
That I know. But what I'm saying is,
it's not the
how
will,
can
observer. Now let me tell you. You ask me a question. Let me answer it. Okay. You are seeing something. What is seen is there, and who is that seeing? When you analyze like that, you end up in that awareness, because your thoughts and everything are happening in your awareness. You are aware of them, right? Thoughts are not really happening just like that. You are aware of the thoughts. So everything happens ultimately in the awareness. If you bring the awareness forward to your thought, then you can perceive yourself. This is beyond the senses and the intellect. And you got to feel it and experience it. If you bring in will and argument, you can never perceive it, you can never intuitively feel it.
So, what is the nature of what is existing? What like if you have 5 words or 6 words
Yeah.
to describe the truth,
It
what
is
will
a
it be?
reflective consciousness. Consciousness, pure consciousness, is a kind of reflected on our mind, and that light kind of is all the outward things. But once you focus that light inwardly, what is your real awareness comes out by itself, self luminous. You have to experience it. It's not really can be explained, can be put into thoughts. It has to be explained. It has to be really experienced, not even explained, experienced. That is where subjective consciousness is first hand experience. Whereas scientific thing, we are focusing outward. There can be so many different studies, and they have to be compared, and then we kind of come to some truth. But then later on, that truth is breaking down. So we go different levels of truth, but we never say this is it. Science would not have really grown if we are stuck with one thing and that's it. Like that.
So
In
would you say that witness the thought, the witness of my sensation in my body, that witness? Do you think that witness has a content, Dr. Ram?
No, the witness is the consciousness, but it's not the thought. It is the see, your thought is witnessed by your conscious being. So once you are in that conscious being, this movement of thought will not be there. You can see that very clearly and it will subside. But as long as you are in the movement of thought, you go putting a network and you will get caught in that. Who is the witness? Who is the observer? Who is the watcher? That is where your real nature, and you end up in that. I think that's one of the quotations I always said. One's attention has always to be poised on one's inner self, inner reality, not the outward mind made or intellect made or senses made. It's beyond that.
So there can be no fear in
Yeah.
what is the truth. There
Yeah.
is no fear in it. There is no fear of death also.
Exactly. Yeah, that's very important point, Partha, because once you know this is eternal, and once you know that it has no birth and the death, then you know the permanence of it, and you don't have the fear of death. Abhinivesha. That's really true. They describe that. And also you experience yourself when you go in there. So that's why they said, see, super will cognitive mind, use it for outward things. So, but inward things, keep it quiet. Then you can feel yourself who you are.
True, but the problem is, even after knowing that I am the witness of my thoughts, even after knowing that, and even if,
Yeah.
even after being at a stage of, sitting silently with my thoughts,
It's the
there is still
avyakta.
a fear of death.
It's the
So
avyakta.
I feel this is not a complete realization, not for me, but for general people also. Knowing that you are the witness of the thought, this can be only the start of something very profound inside you. But
Well,
it is not because the fear is still there. Because if imagine if something is happening to you, the fear will be there, right? Or will it not be there for you?
it all depends upon where you are. Okay, if you are, who is that is asking all these questions within you? If you can find out, is that inward being or your mind? If you are still in the mind, then you will be asking these questions. But if you say, who is this? You are yourself ask, where is this question coming from? Who is this asking? And after a while, there are no interruptions, awareness continues. Once you are in the awareness, who is that they talk about it? You are just aware, and that's it. If you are fearful, then there is movement of thought again. So you got to find out for yourself where these thoughts are coming from. What is the source of it? And then the whole mind gets enlarged into that reality, and you find out that these thoughts are only there. There's no real mind. I'm just giving them this life and sustenance by constantly weaving a network around them. So it's a very famous thing. Ramana used to say this all the time. Who is that asking this question? Find that out. Anyway, our topic is today about synthetic joy versus natural joy. Synthetic joy is more like outward things and arguments and all that. Inner joy is something you realize and keep quiet. And then you will feel that natural, immutable harmony, peace, happiness rolled together. And then you have to experience it. You cannot describe it, you cannot give words to it. Yeah. Anyway, tomorrow, Sanya, we're going to talk about the 5 or 6 steps of mind management. Okay, I think it's already 7:10 now. So we usually do it between 6 and 7. Today I started a little early because I was free, 5:45 or so. So
Sounds good, Dr. Ram.
yeah,
And it's
Girish.
been an interesting discussion for sure.
Yeah.
And I was just looking at, in terms of the process, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's tomorrow.
Yeah, you came up with 5 natural things you are doing. That's good. Girish came up with 5 too, right? So let us explore these things. Let's not argument, but let us explore. So before we ask the questions, see where it is coming from. That itself a big deal. But then before self really understanding that and going there, you have to understand the mind, because through the mind only you understand these things. But then mind falls off after that. But first you have to understand where we are, right? So let's explore that tomorrow. Okay. So I will see you tomorrow then. Okay.
All right. See you.
Goodbye.